I've been sitting patiently for months waiting for a nice pullback in the market, and the time has finally come. Here are some of the setups that I'm eyeing for Monday's open. Yo, what is going on, Premium Chasers? I hope you are having a God blessed day. Special giveaway today. Drop a comment. You're going to get the Market Panic Playbook completely for free. Drop that comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it, guys. Who's excited? Drop the amens in the comments that we got a nice little pullback here on Friday, and please keep it coming, guys. I want this thing to keep going like we saw in April. We haven't seen such a pullback in the market since April, so I'm hoping we got room to run here, which I do, and more on that just here in a moment. We could see on the fear and greed index, man, we was all flying high in the greed, and all of a sudden, just like that, things can change. So I always say dry powder on the sidelines, at least 10%, always at least 10%, or at least money that you can transfer real quick. However, into your brokerage account to take advantage of opportunities. Can't stress it enough, okay? Not to mention, fam, we going into earnings season, right? So this week, obviously, some big earnings are coming up that, some of my boring ones are coming up, right? My J&J is coming up, right? Bank of America, right? Schwab, right? There's a couple, American Express, right? But then we're heading into some of the bigger earnings seasons, obviously, over the coming weeks. Mix that with all the wildness that's happening in the market right now with tariffs with the tariff situation, with the government shutdown. It's time to print them premium, boys. Let's get it. Let's go into some of the other setups, right? Obviously, well, not setup wise, but VIX up 21. Just to give you a comparison, guys, we are nowhere near the levels that we were even in April, okay? April, we shot up to like 50, okay? So I believe we do have room to run. I've been saying this a lot in my pre-market calls. If you're in our pre-market calls every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., you guys know I'm a boring investor. I've been burned so many damn times, I lost count. Right? So me, I'm a boring investor. I stick to boring stuff, dividend payers, selling options, collect the juicy premiums all along the way. And I've been saying for like since April, had a great April and May, and ever since then the market was just running hot, and I'm like, I'm just sizing slow. I'm not feeling it right now. I don't feel like locking up, unless it's like a SPY weekly wheel or something, like locking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in collateral. I'm just not comfortable with that necessarily right now, with how hot the market is, with all of these things happening, right? Like if the government wasn't shut down, there wasn't this looming tariff things back and forth, right? Like I would be like, okay, you know what? I believe it. I could see it. But with all of this uncertainty that's going on around me, dude, the good old gut indicator, I can't stress it enough. The gut indicator for me has served me the best, right? And I just again, it wasn't hard to see that there's going to be a pullback in the market. And guys, this isn't even a pullback, I believe. This is nothing, literally nothing compared to what we saw just a short few months ago. And I'm praying, drop the amens if you want it, bring it on back, because some of you now are starting to realize the lesson that I've been saying about selling options. We are business owners. We treat this like a business. We get in, we get out, we make our profit, we sleep good at night. Some of you are scrapping to try to time the top or time the bottom, and it's a losing game in my opinion, right? So for me, I'm happy right now because I have I'm going to get into some great stuff here on Monday and at least start sizing. I'm not going all in now, right? I'm going to be going all in if we get that VIX towards like in the 40 range. Yes, then we're going to start pushing it even harder. So stay tuned for that. Do I think we're going to get there? I don't know. It's tough to say. Everything's a tweet away or an X away, right? Let's get into it. SPY obviously had a little bit of a drop. It's not even that much, guys. This is nothing in my opinion compared to where we need to get back to reality, okay? So SPY, let's just call it just a drop down 3% here on Friday. A little bit of red in pre-market. Praying that we see more of a pullback here on Monday. We should. Logically, my brain says we should continue to see this pullback considering nothing is getting resolved right now, right? But you never know. Mr. Market's crazy nowadays, okay? But with that said, I do expect a little bit more of a pullback on SPY. If SPY starts to drop further, I'm going to be DCAing a little bit. I'm probably going to end up buying a little bit of, not SPY on Monday, but on Monday, I'm going to probably buy, just some extra shares of QQQ in my buy and hold portfolio. Every Monday, if you guys don't know, I am a buy and holder. Believe it or not, right? I have my buy and hold portfolio. That's like my Roth IRA. That's like, the stuff that you give to your kids and maybe maybe you live off a little bit, right? But it's nothing crazy, right? Like I almost look at it like an emergency fund, right? It's a set, forget. And I have a couple stocks in there that I'm very bullish on. I have my Vanguard stuff. I've got QQQ and a couple other things, but I will most likely buy a few shares of QQQ on Monday, just in my buy and hold portfolio. Nothing crazy, but we see this little dip here. Right? I'm gonna take a little bit of an advantage. So that's number one, guys. Like, if you see, and we're going to get into this options trading in a second, but listen, there ain't nothing wrong, right? If you like see a dip on a stock like a SoFi or Nvidia or whatever, and you're like, oh, you know what? Just last week I bought it for 200, and now it's trading at 170 or 180. Yeah, maybe DCAN wouldn't probably be a bad idea for you, right? And that's kind of what I'm doing with ETFs mainly. I don't mainly only buy and hold ETFs, couple small stocks like SoFi and stuff, but mainly just various Vanguard ETFs and other ones as well. So that's going to be one of my first things that I'm doing here on Monday morning, just jumping in a little bit more on QQQ to take advantage of a little 3.5% drop here. Would love for it to drop further. I'm going to stay patient for the first hour for my options plays though, right? So I'm looking at a couple. Some of you are going to call me crazy for this one, but BABA, right? This one has been on a tear. Let's keep going. Let us keep going back towards that 200- and 300-day moving average. We're nowhere even near it yet right now, but I do see this having an extremely bloody open on Monday. Listen, at the end of the day, I am very bullish on BABA. I know whatever we're dealing with right now, it's gonna work out. That's just how my brain works, and that's just that gut indicator. In the short term, though, we can collect. All right, so. With that said, I'm not jumping into puts yet. We did cross below that middle Bollinger Band area, which is fine. We're right around that 30-day moving average for BABA, but I need to see this thing drop a lot more further before jumping in puts, and I want to. If this thing starts getting closer under that 130, I'm shooting for stuff under that bottom Bollinger Band. Preferably, if I can get to the 200-day moving average of 122, if I can get to the 300-day moving average in like the 112 area below that, would absolutely love it. There's already probably some contracts available for that. So I'm going to be paying attention heavily to Alibaba. Alibaba has been good to me over the years. But again, just been insanely hot over the past like 2 months here. So it is on my my core watch list of stocks. I'm very, very bullish long term on BABA. Would not bet against it, but this is one I really, really, really want to get into some puts on this one. This one, if this continues to drop, even if it gets down to its like 122 area, which I could see it happening, especially with a 10% drop already on this thing, I'm gonna be going in on this one. This one's probably gonna be one of my bigger plays that I have, especially if I can get under 100 puts on this. All day, baby. I'm gonna be doing this thing. I missed this thing when it was consistently trading under 100. But next one is Qualcomm. Let's go. Qualcomm now dip below the 200- and 300-day moving average, trading at 153. You guys already know I love the tech, IT, networking sector. That's a little bit of my background working in IT for a high-frequency trading company in my past life, and I absolutely love these kind of products, and I love trading them. So this one's the best setup that I'm seeing right now in terms of like that IT, tech, network sector. For me personally, go do your own research. In terms of setup, it's the best. Dip below the 200- and 300-day moving average, right? I'm looking at things now where they were like roughly in April, right? So this thing got down to like that 127-ish level, or 125, let's just say, 125-ish level. So I want to see, are we going to get there a little bit? Listen, technicals right now are skewed, right? They just are. They're like Bollinger Bands, all that stuff. Like the only thing that I'm kind of looking at is at moving averages right now a little bit. And even those are a little bit skewed as well, because the market has just been absolutely insane lately. Now I am curious to see what it's going to do at this like roughly 145, 146-ish level. Are we going to have some support there? So I'm eyeing this. If it gets to that point and it drops below it, we're going to be in a little bit of a free fall state at that point to that 127-ish level. So listen, when I'm selling a cash secured put, I'm not a degenerate. I'm not just going to go in there because it's at the bottom Bollinger Band. I want to see where the nut kind of falls and where we kind of get a little bit of a support level, especially if I'm considering locking up a tremendous amount of collateral like this. Okay, so I think through things. I'm not just going to jump into a put just because it's at the bottom Bollinger Band, but it still is, potentially going to be going further. So for me and my Monday plan, I'm going to see for the first hour of trading, see where this thing goes, and then I'm just going to monitor monitor. If it continues to kind of be red and not really find any support that day, it might be not till Tuesday or Wednesday that I deploy that capital for some cash secured puts on this thing, okay? And I'm just being methodical here. I'm just at least for me, that's how I think through things. We all have our own strategies. We all do our own things. I probably do things very wrong, but guess what, fam? They working for me. All right, next one I'm watching is Verizon. I already have some puts in here on Verizon, but with that said, man, this thing already got beat up even more, man. This sucks, but it is what it is, right? Listen, sometimes when you have your puts in, like 41 puts on Verizon that I have, right, and it's dropped now to 39. All right, guess what? We hitting them at 38. I use this as a mechanism of dollar cost averaging at times, okay? Now, my point is to do a business, but I love Verizon for my Ark Options strategy, right? Even if I'm getting a sign, I'm getting a covered calls, I'm getting a juiced up dividend. Listen, I don't mind. Listen, Verizon ain't going away anytime soon. I'm not super bullish on it like 10-year wise. I do think it's an industry that is going to continue to be disrupted, but short term, I don't know what internet you were using at your house, but I got the 1 gig straight to the house. All right. So for me, ain't nobody doing that around, at least in the Northeast area for that I know of. But with that said, I am watching Verizon very, very closely, well below now the 200 and 300 day moving average forward around 42 for both of those, trading at 39. Let's see where this knife lands. Let's see if it keeps dropping, if it's dropping down to a low 39. Even at this, so in this situation, since I already have puts on this thing, I might just honestly even at like, I'll still wait till the first hour. I want to see what happens at the first hour here of open on Monday. But at that point, maybe jump into it right away. Maybe see what the 38s are. Man, 38 Verizon, dude. That's crazy, actually. That's crazy for me to even say. Where were we at? Wait, did we even get that far back in, where were we at here, man? That wasn't even 37. That's great. Actually, I actually have no problem with that. That's actually a great story place, in my opinion, around 38 Verizon. So yeah, most likely that's going to be my put. I'm going to be playing close to the money because Verizon, again, with these kind of boring dividend payers, your premium isn't that juiced up, so to speak, when you're not playing too close to the money. And again, I have no problem buying it at. I have no problem buying a Verizon at, if I do like 1 or 2 contracts, I have no problem buying Verizon at 38. I think that's me personally, not financial. I think that's a steal in my opinion with the covered call setup as well as dividends. Next one is Oxy. All right. So one of my favorites during the 2020 times. This was one of my favorites. So what am I watching here? I'm watching how far it gets to where it was in April, and it's not far off. So what am I looking at here? I'm looking for 35 puts. Simple. I'm looking at where I believe that the knife will essentially fall. 36, it kind of dropped down to level, right? And in April, and again, this is just how I think through things. Do I think that it's going to drop below where it was in April? I don't know, but I think that's a great support level that it's going to have there, right? So I'm looking just a little bit below that to give me some sort of cushion. I don't think 35s are going to necessarily be available yet, but maybe Monday and Tuesday, if we continue to see red, the 35 puts will be available. Guys, if you want to take your option selling to the next level, you're not a toxic human being, you're a financially stable individual, you're ready to learn how to sell options, or you're ready to scale your option selling portfolio and surround yourself with an incredible small group of individuals that talk day in and day out. I was super sick on Friday. I was in there in the chat. The chat was blowing up. Everybody was going crazy with their setups and their plays that they were doing. You want to surround yourself with cool people, not 1,000 people in a Discord, right, that you never get your questions answered. You don't get any sort of mentorship or anything like that. You want to check this out, guys. Click the first link in the description of today's video. You're going to learn more about Options Seller School, the Ark Options Strategy, and you can book a no-pressure sales call with me and my team. We interview every single person we let in here because, again, we don't want toxic people. We want people here that are doing option selling, right, to create wealth. We have people in our community doing this in their retirement years for income, right? That is my play as well, right? So if you want to surround yourself with those kind of people day in and day out, click the first link in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.